Welcome to the Ellis Talker Show. I'm DV LeBron. This show is brought to you by Midlothian Blade and Barber. If your hair is getting a little long and you need a good haircut, go see Geraldo and tell him DV LeBron sent you. 1000 East Main Street here in Midlothian. Support your local business. Now, this interview is pretty cool. I interviewed Mr. Jon Garret, who is opening the Texas Theater with his little touch on it. So I go behind the scenes and I talk to him about what's going into this project. I hope you like the show. Today, I'm here with Mr. Jon Garret at the historic Texas Theater. And, I thank you so much for letting me come in here and see this. But as you saw in the video, it's raw. There's a lot going on in this Texas Theater. And this is the beginning product. And I wanted you to see this because at the end, I'm going to do another one with it all fixed. Mr. Garret, how are you today?
I'm good. I can't wait till the end.
Yeah. Thank you so much for seeing me on this. So what gave you the idea to do this? This is a massive project, sir.
Yeah, it's a worthy project. So look back in 2010, 2011 when they tried to bring it back. They did good for a few years, but I don't think our downtown was quite ready for it yet. So it's sat vacant for years since, and it's been kind of sad. Kind of sad to walk by and say, hey, there's this kind of crown jewel sitting there on our historic square, and the opportunity came up to do something with it, so we jumped on it, and we kind of went in blind, not knowing what we were into, but we have a pretty good idea now. So we got a good roadmap, complete renovation. It's almost down to the studs. So new lighting, new audio, new visuals, new seats. It's going to be a complete restoration. We're pretty excited about it.
What kind of plans or events do you see happening here, sir?
I see live music, comedy, plays. A place where people can just get together, maybe watch the game on a Sunday if you don't have anything going on. Maybe we can show some classic movies. We want to have a full service bar out front. So it's going to be a really unique experience for people that come here. And
you said that there was more than you kind of bargained for when you came in. What are some of the things that are do you see any hindrances in getting this together?
Sure, I think one of the main things you get with an old building like this is plumbing and electrical that's way out of date, way out of code, and just kind of dangerous overall. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but it caught on fire 3 days before we bought it, the mezzanine out front, so or the marquee out front. But there's a lot of wires in here that are old, they're not being used, maybe they're being used. It's just pretty confusing behind the walls. So we got to get to all that. We got to make sure the place is safe. We've had a structural engineer out here to check out, the structures, the mezzanine, the walls, the ceiling, everything's good to go there. But kind of getting those safety items checked off first before we get to what I like to call the fun part, designing and painting and putting in new seats. First of all, we want to make sure it's safe for everybody that comes here, and thinking about the usability.
I'm up on the stage right now looking down at what would be the seating area. Mr. Garret, kind of tell me your plans right there with this area right here.
So what we'd like to do, this is the old production booth that you see kind of matched out here. We'll take all that concrete out, and where this light rack is, right above that's going to be our production. So we don't necessarily have to take up 20 seats. These days technology's come a long ways where you can get a smaller soundboard and you can accomplish a lot more with a smaller space. Another thing we would like to do, just from going around and seeing other theaters, is be able to get more people in and have a better experience, is to expand this mezzanine around this way.
So this view right here is what he's talking about. It would be on a corner and it would come out and then you would get down on the stage.
That's right, yeah. And I think it would be probably the coolest seat in the house to be able to sit there and kind of look down on the stage. You would almost feel like you're part of the show.
Definitely, definitely. Now, did you plan on using that room up there? Is that like the projector room up there?
Yeah, so that's the original projector room. And you can still see the old windows that we cast from way back there. It's crazy how far technology's come, but it's an XM radio showroom. It's completely soundproof. It's pretty neat up there, but it's a wasted space. So we were thinking, how do we make the guest experience a little bit better? And we've got all this space up here, so we're going to renovate it, open it up, looking at putting a bathroom up there for everyone that's on the second level, as well as kind of a rest area, a lobby, a hangout, a VIP lounge, with a full-service bar. Excuse me. So, if you've noticed, these old theaters, they don't have big hallways, you know, they tend to get a little bit crowded. We don't want people to come here and feel like, oh my gosh, there's nowhere to walk or breathe. These folks on the second floor are taken care of because they've got a place to go.
Right.
Speaking from personal experience, if your kids get a little out of hand, you know, you got somewhere you can stuff them and you're not going to bother everybody in the show. So
Right.
that's cool too.
You plan on making this a family-friendly venue?
For sure. Yeah, it should be. You know, for the last few weeks that we've started on the project, we leave the doors open so folks will come in and just be kind of curious. But everyone who's from Waxahachie or, you know, kind of spent some time here has a memory of the theater, it seems like. They come in and this was their first job or this was their first day. Our electrician today said the first time he had a mixed drink was here. He was of age, but, you know, everyone kind of has a story here except those in the last 10 years. They've like, Texas Theater's this place we just walk by. But what a special thing for this generation that's coming up to have stories and be able to say, hey, I went here, you know, this was my first date, or all those experiences. That's what we want to bring to Waxahachie.
You grew up here. Did you come here as a kid?
So, no, I didn't. I moved here 2003, right before my freshman year of high school. So, much smaller town back then, but I can't claim native Waxahachie. But,
oh. Well, that's a long time, but you did come back here. And not only are you fixing this Texas Theater because, you know, that's not enough, but you're running a radio station as well. You took over the local radio station that's been with us for a long time, and somewhere where when we talked, you had said you had gotten a little start in radio. Can you kind of talk about that, KBEC, a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So KBEC is kind of like my stomping grounds in college. When I walked in there, my first, you know, real job, first experience in radio, I knew I was on to something special. I liked entertainment. I like providing things, you know, that people can use and make their life better day to day. My opinion is that life is kind of hard, so if I can create places where people can check out for a little while and just have a good time, you know, that's what the theater's for. KBEC is a very important part of the community. You know, local news, local sports, local people. It's a place where it's kind of the watering hole of Waxahachie. If you want some information on what's going on in town, or you want to hear the sports games, you know, people tune into KBEC. So those two entities, I think, tied together are really important for the community, whether it was me doing it or somebody else. It's just good to see those things alive as we continue to grow. And we can continue to reach the folks that are moving here, wherever they're coming from, and let them experience what's so you know, special about Waxahachie.
How do you feel about giving back to this community? Because that's like the first thing you've done coming back here. So what are your thoughts on giving back this community?
Sure. You know, that's kind of the thing in life. I mean, you can live for yourself and do things, and what I've found is it leaves you feeling a little bit empty. So I've been through that in life. I've lived selfishly, and it's not very fun. You know, you can accumulate a lot of things, and if you lean on those things, it's just not a good life. To me, a life worth living is doing things like this. You know, restoring and creating things that mean something to people, places that they like to go, places that they like to tune into. It's a more fulfilling life, I would say, for me.
So you have movies, events planned, comedy clubs. Is that kind of where you're going with this?
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. We haven't really booked anything yet. We booked like one school play next May. It's my kids' school, so we you know.
They had a little inside track.
Yeah, we kind of wanted to like do that first. Also to put some pressure on ourselves to make sure we finish everything on time, because I couldn't imagine not doing it, which we should be way ahead of that schedule. But yeah, as soon as we get a little bit further in the renovation, make sure we're not going to find any more skeletons, and we have a really good plan in place, then I think we would feel comfortable booking shows. And we've already got our social media up and running. The website is on the way, but if people want to follow the progress and kind of see day to day what's going on here, we're very active on social media, and want to keep everybody informed, you know, because we can make a projection of 3 months and get everybody excited, but if you follow us day to day, it kind of keeps us accountable, and that's what we want to be.
Honestly, what do you think as far as time frame for getting this ready? What's that looking like right now?
I would like to be completely done by the end of the year. So about New Year's, hopefully we can have a launch. That's if we don't run into any supply chain issues or anything like that. I'm personally general contractor on the job, so it's not like I'm handing it off to somebody and hoping for the best and kind of watching from a distance. I'm here every day. I bashed out that sheetrock back there with a sledgehammer the other day. I like that kind of thing for some reason, but yeah, you know, we're all local people. Another thing that we pride ourselves on is we're using local plumbers, local electricians, local interior designer, and what we're finding in doing that is that bringing in local people, they care. Like I said, they have a memory here where they care that it's coming back to life, and it's kind of created like this sense of family of all of us working together. Whereas on a lot of projects, you know, if you're just building a wall, you know, 4 walls and an office or something kind of like that, which the world needs, but it's a job. This is a little bit more of a passion project.
Is the city supportive of your mission here?
Absolutely, yeah. From day one, we've met, you know, our city manager, Michael Scott. I met with him, told him what I wanted to do. Obviously very supportive. The city has seen this place kind of sit for too long, so anything that they can do to help, they have so far. You know, Wally at the city, we got a dumpster, and he was out here blocking off parking for us, and I know that's not easy, but yeah, we've had a lot of support, and that's what it takes to get a project like this done. I couldn't do it by myself. It
is ginormous. You were telling me there's contractors, architecture, even interior designers to get this going. You know, this is going to be a nice. Are you going to keep it named the Texas Theater, or are you going to rename it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it was when it opened. So I think that's what it should be now. It changed names a few times, but I'm a 9th generation Texan, and you know, us Texans, we take pride in that. So it's got to be the Texas Theater.
I like to interview people around here that are making a difference or that are serving the public. It's always nice to see something like this. See somebody coming privately to make this happen. Not a government function, but a private citizen wanting to improve his community. So, Mr. Garret, I really appreciate you, and I'm sure the people of Waxahachie appreciate you putting this theater together.
Yeah, thanks. And everybody listening, stop by anytime. We'd love to hear the stories, and welcome to check in on the progress and check it out. You might need a hard hat sometimes, but we'd be happy to see you.
Thank you so much, sir.